Yo, what's going on, everybody? It is Straight out of Boston here, and today I'm back with episode number 24 of my Brooklyn Nets of MyLeague series here. And today we're going to be entering the trade deadline, and yes, we are going to be pulling off that trade for Victor Oladipo. So, when I initially went back to the Magic and was looking at Oladipo offers, here was one that involved a first-round pick, and we would get Ray McCallum back. And I actually like this deal. I thought McCallum could, fill in that void left by Lonzo Ball to run our second unit as the backup point guard. So I tried to do it without the first-round pick. They were not having it, but we got a counteroffer, a 2020 first-round pick for a 2018 second. So I decided to do that. I figure we're probably not going to need a 2020 draft pick. I'd be surprised if we actually got to 2020 in this series anyway. So I also signed Luke Babbitt because he's got a 93 three-point rating, and I was kind of looking at improving our backup small forward spot. I was looking around in the trade market, but I just thought the best option would be to sign Babbitt. If we were to upgrade at that spot through trade, we probably would be wasting assets because I don't really think that spot is going to make our playoff rotation. If we cut our rotation down to 8 or 9 guys, I think Babbitt's probably going to be one of the odd men left out. So we are still first place in the Western Conference, in the Eastern Conference, past the trade deadline. We're taking on the Minnesota Timberwolves this episode. They are 4th place in the West. They have a slightly better record than us, although we do have 2 more games played than them. But either way, we are taking them on in this episode from Minnesota, so this is pretty much the Minnesota team that Timberwolves fans have to look forward to in the future. Karl-Anthony Towns and Andrew Wiggins have developed into a pair of studs. Zach LaVine is not too shabby himself. I think LaVine could be pretty good in real life. I think he's got a high ceiling, and I think he has kind of filled out a little bit in this game. They've also got Brandon Jennings and Trevor Booker in the starting lineup. Certainly the supporting cast around those 3 guys, not quite as good as it could be, but still, I think this is... the core group that Minnesota has kind of come to fruition a little bit here in this episode. So anyway, it's Oladipo finding his man Middleton to Bledsoe on the break, and Bledsoe with the one-handed slam. We have a 6-2 lead early now, but it's Booker with the ball after Minnesota tied the game back up at 6. Now Wiggins makes one move to the basket, showing off the athleticism right there, getting the layup to go. Now 8-6 is the score. Bledsoe finds his man Oladipo with a jumper, and Oladipo rattles that one home. Now, I will admit I did not have a good game with Oladipo this episode. I was still kind of figuring out how to play with him, what he does best, but I've already recorded the next episode, and he has a much better game in the next episode, so do not be thrown off or whatever. Do not be, I guess, disappointed with the way that he played in this game, because I think it was just, ironing out the kinks, so to say. Anyway, watch McCallum with the jab step here, gets Gortat off of him, and then he is just going to drain that 3 in Tyus Jones' face. Not really in his face. I guess Jones didn't quite get over there in time, but still a nice play by McCallum. I really like the way he played this game. He was going to find Bazemore on the break. Bazemore knocks down the 3. We go up by 1. Now, still up by 1. It's going to be McCullough finding his man McCallum. He's going to try and thread the needle here to Bazemore. Couldn't quite get that pass through, but he finds Babbitt, foot on the line. That's a long 2, but it is money either way. We go up by 3 now. It is a 2-point game. Here is Babbitt with the ball. He finds McCallum running away. He is going to drain that 3. McCallum with 6 points in the first quarter. Like I said, really thrilled with the way he played. He is only making, I think, $3 million for the next 4 years, so dirt cheap contract. I think that is perfect for our backup point guard. I think he has got that role for the foreseeable future, unless I really start to struggle with him. But like I said, I've already played 2 games since doing this trade, and I thought he played well in both games. So anyway, there's Mike Scott getting into the action. We did not get Derek Favors back quite yet this episode, but he will be back for the next one. Now it's Tyus Jones getting into the action. Nice little pass to Booker, swings it to Wiggins for the 3. That one is money, so Minnesota gets the lead down to 4. Now it's back up to 6 for Brooklyn. Here is Scott in the post. Pump fakes, goes again. Now finally puts it up. Puts that one in off the glass. That was Spencer Hawes trying to check him. That is not a good defensive big right there. Mike Scott taking full advantage of that matchup. Now Oladipo from behind the line. He knocks down that 3. We go up by 11, 8-0 run for Brooklyn. But here comes Minnesota. Now it's back to 9. This is Zach LaVine with the ball. McCallum tries to pick him up, but he hits Hawes going to the basket off of the inbound right there. That is good for 2 points. Now it's a 6-point game. LaVine running the break. He finds Wiggins. Wiggins takes it himself. Layup is good. Tough little shot right there by the former Kansas basketball star, but he gets it to go either way. Now LaVine finds Gortat, swings it over to, was that Gorgie Dang, I think, and he knocks that one down. So that is going to make it a 2-point game now. Back up to 4 is the lead. McCallum, little pick and roll with his former Sacramento teammate Sim Bhullar, and Bhullar gets the and 1 right there, showing off the touch, although it's not really what he's known for. But anyway, here's Jennings with the ball. Floater. That one is kissed off the glass and in, of course, recently traded to the Orlando Magic. And as we approach the NBA trade deadline, I'm sure a lot of you guys are probably going to be wanting my thoughts on some of the moves that go down. I'm recording this commentary on Tuesday, which is the day that Jennings got traded, of course. I think it's going to be a pretty big deadline. I think a lot of guys are going to get moved. I think we could see some really big names get moved. If you guys want my opinions and stuff on that kind of stuff, you got to go follow me on Twitter. I'm probably not going to make a video about it, but I'm definitely going to be tweeting out my thoughts as the trades go down. So go go follow me on Twitter. Link is in the description. Anyway, LaVine, top of the key, hits the contested 3, gets the lead back down to 6, and that would be the score at the end of 1, or at the end of 2, I should say, at the end of the first half. Brooklyn up by 6, 51-45 is your score. And take a look at the stats right there where you're holding Minnesota just 42.5% from the field. Good team defense, I thought. And I think that's a noticeable difference with Oladipo in the lineup, as our defense is a lot better than when we had Barnes in the lineup. And especially in the next episode, you're going to see that. But anyway, there is Jennings going to the basket there. Good pass by LaVine to hit him. It's a 4-point game. That three-pointer's no good. Rebounded by Bledsoe, though. He's going to get this one back out to Oladipo. Pump fakes and drives. And check out the tough contact layup right there. Gets the and 1. So we got a chance to go back up by 7 now when we do just that. 56-49 is your score. Scott with a jumper. That is no good. Rebounded by Lopez. Two-handed slam. And now we go up by 9. So Brooklyn coming out in the second half here, trying to open up a bit of a bigger lead. But it's Wiggins in the corner knocking down the tray ball. Gets the lead down to 6. Now it's back to a 7-point game, 59-52. It is Wiggins again, though, knocking that one down. That was a long 2, but it's still a 5-point game now, down to 3. Bledsoe with it, swings it to Scott for the jumper. That one is money. We go back up by 4 about midway through the third quarter. Here we go, under 4 minutes to play into the third. It's Dang. He is going to get that one to go. Down to 2 goes the lead here, 63-61. Now back to 4. That is going to be stolen by Middleton. And then McCollum running the break finds Bazemore all alone. And once Bazemore gets out in the open court like that, he is not going to be caught. So he slams it down with 2 hands. Now a 4-point lead. Jennings, though, with the ball. Hop step layup is good. So it's still a back-and-forth game right now in this third quarter. No one really opening up a lead, but check this out. I tried to go with a dunk with Bazemore. Instead, he pulls up from about the elbow and actually gets the and 1. So we go up by 5 now. Jennings, his jumper is good. That gets it down to 3. 12 seconds to play, and that is going to be the score at the end of 3. So Brooklyn on top still, 72-69, playing pretty good defense. Offense, not quite where we want it to be, only 72 points through 3 quarters. That is that's okay. That definitely could be better, but anyway, we are winning, so I can't really complain. Here we go, though, into the fourth quarter now. It is Oladipo running the screen and roll with Lopez. He's going to find Lopez. Jumper is good. It rattles around there and gets the friendly roll. Now a 5-point lead for Brooklyn. It is going to be Karl-Anthony Towns. We have not heard a lot from him this episode, but he finds Booker right there for the baseline J. Now a 3-point game, 6:44 to play. Jennings from behind the line. That is no good, but Karl-Anthony Towns, offensive rebound and 1, and he would tie up the game with the free throw. Now it is LaVine catching and driving to the bucket, gets it to go, and Minnesota has their first lead in a while. It is 80-78 now. LaVine actually got hurt in the early in the fourth quarter. He would suffer a pinched nerve in his back, but played through it rest of the game. There is Chris Middleton, though, getting on the Kia Slam Cam, tying the game back up at 80. Now Bledsoe running the break, finds Oladipo. Nice bounce pass and the one-handed tomahawk jam. Puts Brooklyn back up on top, 82-80. Now 84-82. LaVine finds his man Jennings from behind the line, and Minnesota leads again, 85-84. Here we go. Lopez finding his man Scott, though. Pump fakes once, goes up, kisses it off the glass. Scott had an impressive game here. I think he's filled in pretty nicely for Derek Favors, at least on offense. The defense is definitely not going to be as good as Favors, but still, I thought he was filled in nicely, about as nicely as we could have asked him. So here we go. Now Minnesota back up by 1. It's Bledsoe with the ball. He's going to take this one himself. One-handed slam, and we go back up by 188-87. Ensuing possession, though. Someone left Booker all alone, and Minnesota goes back on top now. So here we go. 91-90 is the score. LaVine with the ball, running the screen and roll with Booker. He's going to find his man Dang. Goes to the basket. The left-handed layup is good. Minnesota up by 3 now. Lopez in the post tries to answer back. He does just that. Back to a 1-point game it goes. Timeout, Minnesota. Now a 3-point lead for Minnesota. It's LaVine to Jennings to Wiggins. The layup is good, and Minnesota goes up by 5 with just over a minute to play. Now it's a 6-point game. Middleton from behind the line gets it to go. We get it down to 1 possession, 15 seconds to play. We would foul. Minnesota would make both. Now Babbitt for 3. No good. Rebounded by Wiggins. He would get fouled, and that would seal the deal. So we could not quite close the door. I thought we outplayed Minnesota for most of this game, but the fourth quarter they outscored us by 9, and that ultimately resulted in the victory for the Timberwolves. So they pick up the 103-97 victory. Kind of disappointed we lost this game. I thought we just couldn't close the deal, and I thought our offense kind of struggled. We didn't quite get to 100 points. So anyway, the turnovers were an issue for us. We had 13 turnovers. Of course, they had 13 turnovers as well, but still 13 a little bit too high for my liking. Plus, they had their way on the offensive boards. I think our rebounding has really suffered without Favors. But anyway, Lopez had a really good game, 23 points on just 9 field goal attempts. He was 9 of 9 from the line, and you can see we had, I think, 4 or 5 guys in double figures. But Wiggins had 30 points. He had a really nice night. Karl-Anthony Towns only 12. We did a pretty good job of holding him in check, but Wiggins really went off in that in that fourth quarter, and that ultimately led it to the Minnesota victory. So anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Hope you did enjoy, and here's the 2K postgame show.
Hi again, everybody. This is Ernie Johnson, joined by Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. Time now to present our Jordan Player of the Game, Andrew Wiggins. He notched his season high, and his scoring really seemed to set the tempo for his team tonight.
There's no denying Wiggins has almost superhuman athletic ability, but he's not just raw talent, he's got the polish too. And in case you didn't know this little fun fact, he was the first Canadian to win Rookie of the Year. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
He flat out dominated. I mean, you see the kind of plays he was making all over the court. This is the game, no matter who they put on him, he wasn't going to be denied. His offensive power was in full effect.
And that'll do it for tonight. For Kenny Smith, Shaquille O'Neal, Kevin Harlan, and our illustrious 2K Sports crew, this is Ernie Johnson. Have a good night, everybody.